Have you ever thought words could be used as weapons? In a world where your name isn't your own and greetings come with hidden agendas, Margaret Atwood reveals the secret arsenal behind everyday language. Stay with us as we uncover how words shape a dystopian world in Handmaid's Tale. Let's talk renaming. The regime of Gilead uses the act of renaming to exert control, reshape societal memory, and take possession of individuals. The most immediate and pervasive example of this is in the naming of the handmaids. They lose their original identities and are renamed based on the commanders they serve. And our protagonist's renaming as Offred, meaning of Fred, indicates that she is the property of Commander Fred. And the stripping of identity is also evident in other handmaids, such as of Glen and of Warren. Beyond the handmaids, places and institutions also undergo renaming to align with Gilead's ideologies. The Red Center, where handmaids are indoctrinated, evokes imagery of blood and fertility. And shops in the novel also bear generic names indicating their function or the goods they carry, like milk and honey or all flesh. Now, Atwood also gives us a masterclass in the art of euphemism. Euphemisms obscure harsh or unsettling realities with milder or more palatable terms. And in Gilead, they play a critical role in making the state's atrocities seem acceptable or even righteous. A prime example is the term ceremony. This euphemism masks the reality of what is essentially state-sanctioned rape. And by framing this act as a religious and official ceremony, the Gileadian regime attempts to legitimize and normalize it. And then there's the term salvaging, which instead of referring to the act of saving something, refers to public executions. This term paints the violent act as something that purifies society rather than destroys it. Similarly, particicution is another chilling euphemism. It denotes a ritualized group execution where handmaids are encouraged to violently attack a condemned man. This term combines participation and execution and makes the act seem almost like a civic duty, again masking the barbarity of the event. Through these euphemisms and others, Atwood masterfully highlights the role of language in shaping perception and justifying atrocities. By dressing up harsh realities in softer terms, the regime makes oppression seem almost routine. And let's not forget about reading and writing, big taboos in Gilead. In reading The Handmaid's Tale, you find that reading and writing become intensely political. The prohibition and control of these fundamental activities serve as tools of oppression in the Republic of Gilead. And one of the most overt ways Gilead controls its citizens is by outlawing reading and writing for women. By denying them access to written information, the state effectively deprives them of knowledge, power, and most importantly, the capacity for rebellion. And this extends to even the most minor things. Remember the shop signs, milk and honey and all flesh? Well, those have pictorial representations because women are no longer allowed to read. Offred, the protagonist, frequently reminisces about her past, where she could freely read and write, and her memories of when she could access books, magazines, and written records contrast sharply with her present, emphasizing the loss of her autonomy and agency. On the other hand, commanders have access to books and can read freely. This disparity in access to literature and knowledge underscores the power dynamics in Gilead, where knowledge is hoarded by the few to control the many. The mere act of Commander Fred allowing Offred to secretly read a Scrabble word or a passage from the Bible becomes a transgressive act, highlighting the power imbalances at play. Furthermore, the absence of writing means there's no way to document injustices, making it easier for the regime to erase and manipulate history. Offred's clandestine storytelling and her efforts to mentally record events become acts of a resistance. Her narrative is, in essence, a forbidden written account, a testament to the experiences of those oppressed in Gilead. And through these intricacies, Atwood underscores the immense power of reading and writing. In Gilead's context, they aren't just acts of acquiring knowledge or expressing oneself, but also potential weapons against tyranny. And the restriction placed on them emphasizes their potency and the threat they pose to an authoritarian regime. But here's where it gets super interesting. Atwood's take on ritualistic language. We've touched on some examples like the ceremony for state-sanctioned rape and particular where murder becomes a civic duty. Ritualistic language in Gilead isn't just ceremonial. It reinforces the state's beliefs, structures, and norms, reminding its citizens of their roles and the regime's dominion over them. And one of the novel's most recognizable pieces of ritualistic language is the greeting between the handmaids. "Blessed be the fruit," to which the response is, "May the Lord open." This exchange isn't merely a salutation. It underscores the handmaid's primary function in Gilead, to be fertile and bear children. It's both a blessing and a reminder of duty. Another example can be seen in the prayvaganzas, events where marriages are arranged en masse. The very name combines pray and extravaganza, suggesting religious devotion and spectacle. The language used during these ceremonies, laden with religious undertones, sanctifies the state-controlled unions, making them seem divinely ordained and festive. So, what does this all teach us? Besides being an engrossing read, The Handmaid's Tale is a cautionary tale about the silent power of language. When we're aware, we're prepared. That's a wrap for today's exploration into Atwood's world. And if you have thoughts or other intriguing language insights from the novel, drop them in the comments below. Also, subscribe. It's free, and you won't miss out on any Learning with Dr. K content. Remember, every story has layers, so let's uncover them together. And until next time.